Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how you can add a 2D sprite in a 3D environment, sort of like Paper Mario. So without further ado, let's jump right into this video. So as you can see here, I have my typical test scene that I've pretty much been using on all my latest tutorials. Now I do have 2 players in this scene, and that's because this is where I left off of from my latest video, which was on split screen. Now I'm not going to be showing you how you can add a third-person controller in this video. And if you're following along with this video, I'm assuming you do have a third-person controller, but if you don't, I will be leaving a link somewhere on screen to my tutorial on it. But you can always also check out other various videos on YouTube. But with that said, let's actually make this work. To add the 2D sprite in a 3D environment, it's really simple in Godot. We want to actually start by going into our player's scene, and in our player, your player might actually be set up differently from mine, but basically what matters is the visual representation of our player, which is what we're going to be changing. In this case, it's the capsule shape and this rectangle shape. So I can pretty much get rid of those shapes there. In this case, I'm just going to go ahead and hide them. And now our player is invisible. And now I can actually go ahead and add my 2D sprite. To do this, I'm going to go ahead and select my pivot. And then we can search for a sprite 3D. Or you could also use an animated sprite 3D. Now in this case, I'm going to be using the sprite 3D because I only have a single static image. If you have all the images that make up your animations, then you can go ahead and use an animated sprite 3D. But I'm going to add a sprite 3D in this case. So go ahead and add it. Then in the inspector, there's a texture field. Click and drag your sprite into this field. In this case, it's an image of Godot. So I'm just going to go to front view, like so, and then I'm going to scale it down because right now it's way bigger than my actual collision shape. And I'm pretty much just eyeballing it. I'm not being precise here, but in your case, you can be a lot more precise than what I'm being here. So let's see, I think that's roughly the size. I can scale it down a little bit more and then move it down a little bit. Yeah, that should work. So you notice that we already have our 2D sprite in the 3D environment, so if this is all you need, then that's pretty much it. But there's actually another handy feature. So in the inspector, there's a drop down for flags, and then there's a property called billboard, which is by default disabled. You can go ahead and actually enable it, and if you do, you will notice as you rotate your viewport, the sprite pretty much always faces you, no matter where you're facing. Now, in this case, I would actually recommend that you set billboard to Y billboard instead, and now it will only face towards you as you rotate along the Y axis and not along the other axes. So yeah, that's pretty much all you actually need to make this work. So just save your player, and if I go back to my main level here and run it, you will notice that my 2D sprite is working just as intended. So yeah, it's literally that easy. So hopefully you found this video helpful, and if you did, make sure you leave a like and consider subscribing, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.